Hi, my name is Jeroen from the Clapham property blog, and today I'm going to give you 7 tips on refinancing your buy-to-let or investment property. I've had 6 refinances in the last 18 months, and out of those, 3 have been downvalued. So moral of the story is, could I have done better? Yeah, I probably could have. So use these top tips whilst refinancing your property, and hopefully you'll get a better result than I did. So the first top tip is the 3 C's of property refinancing: coffee, cake, and comparables. Make sure you meet the valuer there at the property. Make sure there's a mug of steaming coffee waiting for them, and bake them a cake as well. And make sure that you have those comparables. So when you're refinancing a 3-bedroom property, make sure that you have 3-bedroom properties that have sold in the last 6 months within half a mile. That is the key critical factor that they look for to make sure that is a suitable comparable. So if you're trying to refinance at 400, a 3-bedroom flat, and you give them comparables for a 5-bedroom flat or house, it's not going to work, is it? You need to make sure that you speak to local estate agents. You need to get onto the Rightmove sold history. Make sure that you print up the floor plans and the pictures of these other properties as well, so that the surveyor can see, right, these are actually very similar properties. I'm going to value your property the same as these. Secondly, you look at those comparables and you judge whether you can convince someone that yours is exactly like those. So make sure that yours is in either the same or better condition, and make sure it's within half a mile. Use facts, not feelings. Don't go, oh, but my road is better than that one, so it's worth more. Use ones from the same road, preferably if it's a block of flats, the same block, if you can find those comparables. So third, make sure that your property is let. This is obviously if it's a rental property, and show the surveyor your tenancy agreement so that there can be no argument about the amount of rent that the tenants are paying. So oftentimes they'll give an estimation based on the estate agent's feelings that he's ringing round for comparables. So if you're getting a top market rent because you've done a great refurbishment, make sure that's reflected in the price that he gives you by showing him the tenancy agreement with the actual rent on there. So the fourth tip that I'm going to give you is to run 2 finance applications at the same time. Now, you're always going to be under some pressure to complete a remortgage in order to finance the next deal or pay back an investor or what have you. Now, what you don't want to have happen is that the first lender takes a long time to underwrite or get the surveyor around, the valuer, or do the final underwriting checks to then finally issue the mortgage offer. If you have 2 finance applications running at the same time, and speak to your broker about this because they'll know the ins and outs of it, you can literally play them off against each other. So if you say to lender 1, right, well, I've got another lender looking at this as well, it's whoever offers first that I will take the offer up with, they will prioritize your case, and hopefully that will get you a better result as well, and it will hedge your bets in case your property gets downvalued. More than likely, and this again is worth checking with your broker, lender A will use a panel of surveyors that is different to lender B. So hopefully if you run 2 finance applications and your broker has done the homework correctly, you should have 2 different valuers going out there. So that's double the chances of getting the valuation that you want. And the valuation you want is, of course, to value the property up as high as possible, not exceeding the market rate, of course, but the more that you're able to finance out, the more you're able to reinvest. Or if you're not looking to extract capital, you actually lower your loan to value, and that means that you get a better rate, more than likely. So down valuations, I touched on earlier, they do happen. My broker invited me to appeal. Now, I've spoken to lots of investors, and personally, I find appeals a complete waste of time. There's only one investor that I know out of the thousands that I speak to every year that has successfully appealed a down valuation. Surveyors are the most difficult people to get to change their mind, despite whether you present the facts, you've done it after the hammer has gone down. So in a nutshell, make sure that you see them at the property during the valuation. Do not let it get to the stage where they say, oh, it's worth 300 when you thought it was worth 400, because it's going to be impossible to change their mind. Ex-local authority, if you're investing in ex-local authority property, you'll know pre-assignment packs and things like that. Make sure that you apply for those early, because Once the mortgage offer is out, you don't want to then be waiting 2 weeks for this pack, and you don't want to be waiting another 4 weeks for the fire risk assessment. So as soon as the valuer has gone out to the property, make sure that you apply for this pack. It can be a week, maybe even 2, between the valuer coming out and the mortgage offer being issued. So there's no issues there. You just want to make sure you get through the underwriting stage. The mortgage packs are only valid a certain period of time that the council issues, so don't apply for it too early, of course. Just get it applied for when the valuer goes out. And the same applies, and this is tip number 7, for the searches. So your solicitor will need to do local authority searches to check the local planning register and so on and so forth for the lender, if they're acting for the lender. So make sure those searches are done promptly. Again, a good time to get this done is when the valuer goes out. So make sure you put money on the solicitor's account and make sure they get those searches done early. So that brings me to the end of this video. So 7 top tips for refinancing your property. Hopefully if you use that information, things will go very smoothly for you, and happy investing.